boy.
Oh boy,
Do you
here I
have a
go rolling
toolkit at
again.
least?
Oh, I haven't checked. I'm maybe lucky. Nope.
No.
69 though.
As you as you crouch down to look at it, you have no idea what you're looking at, as it's just a nest of, like, you remove the first plate and you just see a nest of wires and like actual nesting rodents. But what you can see here is that there's maybe 3 artillery shells that have been daisy chained together and then put inside the trench line and then covered up by sandbags. But you have no idea how to even go about disarming this.
He'll just mark that one and leave that for the experts.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the medbay,
Yes. Well,
a
first patient.
psyker, a sergeant, and a commissar walk into a medical booth, all bleeding profusely.
Try not to think bleeding thoughts. So, time to see how good are my tools here. Because I don't have any equipment whatsoever, so it's entirely dependent on what they have.
Yeah, they have only the most basic of medical gear. You can see that they had someone that kind of knew a bit about first aid, and like he looks pretty shell shocked. He might be 17 years old, and like he has his gas mask just sitting on top of his head. As a matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
he just has his gas mask sitting on top of his head. He's all sad, and as he looks at you, you can tell that he spent a lot of time trying to save a lot of these people, but he just does not have the technical know-how to do so.
You there. What's your name?
And he takes off his gas mask, and as he's sitting there, he goes, Private Jacobs, sir.
Alright, Jacobs, you're in attendance here. Go ahead and sort these things out and set it up over on this table. He's
I have
going to be
no
my
idea
assistant.
I have no idea what any of that means.
It means take stuff out, spread it out, and make sure it's clean. Get the antiseptic if there's any. And if there's not, go find some cheap alcohol. I'm sure one soldier or another has some.
I think the Ratling that arrived in the Sentinel, he's part of that Munitorum group. He probably has something on him. I'll go talk to him.
Good. Well, while you work on equipment, I'll go ahead and start getting started.
All right.
So there we go.
I was gonna put this on and take it off for dramatic effect, but then I realized I have a whole bunch of stuff on my head, and that is not gonna be very effective.
Headgear doesn't tend to
Wow.
stick, unfortunately, unless it's Team Fortress hats.
Hey.
So, I don't have equipment, but I do have an assistant now.
I will give you a +10 because the medics in the platoon actually had really good fully stocked med kits. However, this asshole has managed to burn through a lot of the equipment trying to save his friends with varying degrees of success.
Okay. And so what am I looking at for roles here then?
For Commissar Hartley, who is not in good shape, as well as Sergeant Jones, they both have critical injuries, which are pretty substantial, but you do have an ad hoc bay. So effectively treating them, even with the assistant and even with the somewhat good, I'm basically going to say you can roll me 1d5, and that's how many uses of an advanced med kit are left.
All right, let's go ahead and roll that first here. 1d5.
I have faith in your capacity to do
I
so.
found a really big one. I can only roll max.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
So I have 5 attempts to try to heal the both of them. Essentially.
Yeah. So effectively, I would say that with all of these, for their condition, you would effectively have a straight roll. So I'm not going to penalize you for the fact that they are both like in the 4s and 5s of critical wounds.
Right. So with their penalties, the equipment that we have, and the assistant, everything just zeroes out.
Effectively, yeah. If you want, you can try and extend this over a period of time, and I'll give you a +15 to the roll. So effectively,
Okay.
you could heal 2 people a day. There's these 2 heavily wounded people, you also have about 10 other injured soldiers in here.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and take my time with these two right now because that's important. So I'll go ahead and take the plus 15 and we'll see how we do.
All right.
1.6.
All right. Was that for the sergeant or the commissar?
Let's go ahead and start with the sergeant.
All right. You managed to sling his arm up. His arm was not. It was not in good condition for a very long period of time, but you've managed to get that back up. Sadly, he still is missing his pistol. He has to make do with his chainsword.
I wouldn't recommend using the broken one to swing that. And then we have the commissar, don't we?
Indeed, you do.
I will also take my time on him, as he is important. And he is not so fortunate.
As I crawl into the medbay. I want a band-aid too.
Take a ticket. We have plenty of those, but we just don't have enough bandages. Go figure.
I'm like
You
trying to
need
grab it with
tickets.
like my pinky and my thumb for some reason, but I just can't get it.
Here, and I'll just like stick it to your forehead.
There you go.
Grant yourself with tickets.
You're always trying to kill.
Alright.
Oh, actually, you know what? Hold on a second.
Right.
So I did that wrong. Technically, you have a plus 10 to these. I'm
Okay. So
I'm
still
double- I'm
success,
double-
still failure.
Yeah. But now
Uh,
we know. Moving forward.
And that would be after 5 uses. I have 3 uses left.
Okie doke.
And I guess I've spent all to treat injuries for today, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So while I'm continuing to do work, and I go, well, at least we have fresh bandages.
Let's see, 24. Yeah, for the moment. And eventually your assistant does come back with a bottle of Amasec, which is a very highly has a very high alcohol content.
Ah, good. At least we can get some things clean.
Yeah, plus you get to drink, so there's that.
Yep. Well, don't drink too much of it. So now that Mash is over here, let's see what Jork gets up to.
Yeah. I believe he's bleeding to death mostly. Although,
Yeah, I kind of want some healing.
sadly, you have to sit there and wait.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
mean, I guess
we
I could
ran
try
out
to
of
treat you
Amasec.
quickly, but I'd like to make sure you get good treatment too.
All right, I'll
Uh,
crawl back to the mortars.
So be right back here.
I'm a little bit busy. Come back later.
As like my hand
Alright.
almost got crippled last combat. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Let's see. So, you're setting up in the mortar pit, right?
Yeah, I'll fight some servitors or whatever. That's usually what I end up doing in mortar pits.
Roll me awareness as you set up security for the mortar pit.
I got a negative 4.4.
All right, roll me just a toughness to stay awake. As you sit there, you're looking around. Mostly everybody's just milling about, sitting there resting. You start to feel your eyes start to droop as the adrenaline starts to leave your system, like most of your blood. And as you start to droop over, you can hear the boots of the commissar. And you glance around, and he's nowhere near you. You're not entirely sure why you were hearing that sound, but you're awake. You're just like, all right. And you see the old man go, yeah, it was a long day, I guess. But
Yeah, it's one of them.
one of the fastest ways to end your day earlier is to get caught sleeping on watch duty. So,
Oh, maybe we should just fall asleep then. Go home early.
yeah, no, I was implying that you're going to get executed, dumbass.
Oh, well, no, you probably don't want to fall asleep then.
No, that's exactly what I meant to imply. You were meant to intuit this from my sarcastic nature.
Hey, you got any beans?
Yeah, of course I got beans. He pulls out a can of beans, starts cracking it up.
Oh yeah, me and the old man just chill out and eat some beans, watching the borders.
Alrighty dighty. All right. So by the end of the first day, you guys have all settled in, and you notice like previously at the other base, there would be like shift changes. So you'd have a couple people on watch duty, and then they would end, and somebody else would come and relieve them, and they'd go back to sleep. Here, that's not really the case. Everyone is just constantly on watch duty. It's just some will grab sleep where they can while another one watches over them. It's not exactly the most efficient, but considering they're all potentially going to be under attack at any time for any reason, well, you know how that should go. Speaking of the tech priest, you managed to finish up getting 3 of the 4 databanks operational. And as you're sitting there working, you see Big B brings his report to the lieutenant, who then goes to the captain, and the captain goes, "Engines here, if you'd be so kind. Our rattling friend here has identified a number of, well, unexploded pieces of ordnance. Many of them seem to have been booby-trapped. I would send some of our own sappers, but since we have an expert in the field, we were hoping that you could, well, render safe some of these obstructions. Namely, the 3 artillery shells at the front of our fortification. If those are to go off, it would be incredibly difficult for us to hold off the orcs." And as soon as that happens, he points you in the right direction. And sure enough, Bigby manages to walk you over to the IED location right here. And as you go in there, you look at it and you can see, yeah, that's a number of artillery shells, uh, all jerry rigged together. And as you're looking at it, roll me a tech use to see if you can disarm it. This is pretty complicated. Yeah. As you look at it, for a few seconds, everyone's just sort of leaning over. You don't even really give out the time for them to clear the area because you're focused on the task at hand, not necessarily all the meat bags around you. And Big B, you watch, and right as you're like trying to explain, like, yeah, so like inside there's like a whole bunch of rat nests, and that tech priest just reaches a hand in, grabs a bunch of wires, and just yanks it. And you watch as he just pulls out 4 of these ad hoc fuses from the det cord and takes them and just throws them over the top. A few minutes later, they detonate. Mission accomplished. Give me 2 more rolls for the other ones, and you're good to go. Technically, these are at -20, but you're rolling so high it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and with the +2, like, you kind of just supersede that.
Well, so that's just how many degrees of success, but yeah.
Oh, right. An actual failure.
A 97. Yeah, so that's not so good, rolling a 97 on the booby trap. So, as you're in there, messing about, yeah, sure enough, you see the next ID, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go. And as you go over there, you see the issue at hand, right? You render it safe, and as you render the one grenade safe and the other one, you're like, all right, perfect, problem solved. And as you pull them off, you see a string attached to the bottom, and as you yank on it, you look down, and you see what is effectively an anti-tank mine buried several feet under the ground. Right? Roll me a dodge.
Yeah. At least this is better than all 3 of them blowing up, right?
Yeah, at this point, like you've designed all of them, this is just kind of a large thing out in the middle of no man's land. Nice.
Oh my gosh, critical success right there. You rolled a 1.
All right, you are only going to take half damage as you get out of the way. So now instead of being right over the hole where most of the explosion is going to funnel and channel out, it now has to go through several feet of dirt and stone and rock before it gets to you. Which is good, because you're probably not going to like this. Do. Where was I? Mm, 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 mm. Seriously though, where was I?
Damage. An anti-tank mine, even.
Alright, here we go.
Anti-tank, the only thing that could possibly hurt him. And he's still taking
Surprisingly.
half.
Well, he is taking half as this seed shell detonates under his feet. So the good news is it's only 2d10 plus 6. The bad news is it is pen 10.
Oof. The penetrator.
Yeah, so let's see what we get here. Slap the objects.
So you only end up taking 11 pen 10 from that. However, you also take an additional 1d5 from the Wrath of the Emperor.
So it's up to 13 now, I think.
What, the Omnitrix? I don't even know what that is.
I think
Isn't that
that's
like
the
some Ben 10 shit?
yeah, that's the primary object from Ben 10. Well,
All
the
I
plus
remember
4
is
would have
2
been on
and
top of
11.
the
Oh,
regular damage and then halved, right? So
no, so the 4 is basically whenever you get a 10 rolled on the damage, you roll 1d5, and that's just a critical effect that is applied to you temporarily.
okay.
So if you survive it, then you're good. So it's not actually an additional 4 damage. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess you're just doing damage 11, pen 10.
That's right.
And then the 4 will mean stuff if you don't
Yeah.
survive?
Well, basically, it's just gonna happen regardless because he's
Mhm, mhm.
probably gonna survive this. But explosives. I don't think he's even gonna get into critical from this.
He did take heavy damage from the crack grenade earlier.
Oh yeah, what's his health at? Maybe he does die.
Well, you know, probably not dead, but we'll see.
Dead forever.
Crit is more likely now, though.
I don't even remember.
Alright, so you are currently at crit 2, explosives, legs. Alright, the force of the explosion takes the target's feet out from under him. He is knocked prone and may only take a half movement actions for 1d5 rounds. Additionally, because you also have the crit 4 from the Wrath of the Emperor, so the explosion goes off and you sort of step back out of the way, but the entire blast wave takes a crater out of the ground. It hits you, launches you and your entire metal body into the air as you sail into the air and then slam into the ground a few meters away. Your movement is reduced, and effectively, you just lay there for a few minutes, stunned, as people run up to see if you need help.
He landed on his keys.
Yeah. Ha!
Everyone wants a bit of scrap from the new.
So the good news is, yeah. I think that's it. It should have just been 3.
Yeah, he just gets up and immediately goes back up to work as everyone comes around. Doesn't stop.
The baby mostly shitting kittens as we're watching that, but he does so Alexander, the next one.
Right back to work.
Oh, you did do the
True,
3
bro.
tests. I think that's
Or
both
just sort
of
of
them.
you as you're like limping in. All right, that is an eventful first day. Next day rolls around in the Medicaid tent. You have a whole bunch of dead and dying. As a matter of fact, of the people so far, 4 of them have succumbed to their wounds. So now there's only 6 wounded folks in here.
Okay.
Big B.
Well,
You see Jacobs just picking up these bodies and dragging them out, stripping them of their clothes. He hands you a pair of pants and a shirt from one of the bodies.
it's something. Oh, hand me the las gun too.
He goes, according to the handbook, sir, all these things have to be recorded by a member of the Departmentum Munitorum. I can't even get you the flak armor. Technically, that would be misappropriation of, well, Imperial Guard equipment.
Well, I'd ask if you found any psi focuses on them, but I know none of those are there. So
I
it's
don't
either
know
that
what
or
that.
asking you for the gun.
I don't know what that means, but
Exactly.
no.
Get out of here. You're taking up room in the tent. Ah,
So he carts the bodies out. You see Sergeant Jones is feeling a little bit better now. However, Jort is still needing some treatment, and I believe Commissar Hartley is also not in the best state.
right. Jort technically isn't going to die. Is Hartley going to die?
No.
All right.
Technically, they are stable. They're just fucked up.
Right. So today I will focus on the people who probably are going to bleed out and die here real quick. And you remember how in the first session you had the medics kind of look and say like, you're definitely not going to make it. I'm probably having to perform that evaluation here too and see which ones can actually be saved. Which
Yes.
probably is the ones that survived here, honestly.
Roll me a Medicaid, and for every degree of success you get on this, you'll get an additional 10-point bonus on your Medicaid test for the day.
Okay. I will roll that flat without any bonuses right here.
Correct.
0.
All right. So, you managed to go through this, and as you sort of measure out the differing degrees of injury, you realize that most of the most critically injured folks are already dead.
Mhm.
The 6 remaining people, for the most part, you can save them. You're not entirely sure you're going to get them back into fighting shape. One of them is missing his leg entirely, so
Mhm.
probably going to end up in an early retirement if they can't get a bionic for him. However, the
Right.
remaining 5 you can probably get back into the fight. Maybe not charging a line, but certainly holding one.
Okay. So I guess I am spending the day seeing how many of those 5 I can get up.
All right, give me
Uh,
5 Medicaid rolls. If you would like to use your advanced kit to give you a bonus, you can. Otherwise, it's just a straight plus 10 for the facility.
okay. I will go ahead on the first 3. I will use the additional bonus, and that'll be an additional 5.
Should be an additional 10.
Oh, okay then. So I'm at plus 20 total.
Yep.
Right. So first check. Hey, someone lives. Second check. Someone doesn't. Second check or third check. Someone really lives. And now we're back down to there are no more uses of the kit. Oh, hey, did really well on that guy. And last one doesn't make any progress. So we have 3 success stories out of 5.
Nice. As you go through this, the 3 you manage to get back on the feet pretty good. The second man you come to is suffering from a pretty devastating collapsed lung. As you go through all of it, the procedure that you're doing, effectively, the medic had done enough to slow his death down. But even as you got in there and you started like looking at the gauze and looking at like just trying to listen to his chest, listen to his breathing, you realize he wasn't gonna make it. You did your best to try and set things right, but there just
Mhm.
wasn't enough blood left in him. He exsanguinated in the middle of the procedure. Sadly, his blood pressure dropped, and you didn't have the ability to get back to it. The
Mhm.
second person, actually seemed pretty simple. You went through it. He had an abdominal issue. You patched everything up. Everything was fine. He got his gear back together, and then a few hours later, you were called to go look at him, and
Mhm.
he had collapsed due to internal bleeding that you had missed while he was out on the line.
Ooh. Well, just gotta kind
Roll
of
me
pull the.
willpower.
Yeah. War is hell.
Roll
Did
me
not make it.
1d5.
Yep. Let's see how much insanity I get. This is the first insanity I'm getting rather than corruption.
Oh,
Ooh,
right.
It
let's go
hits
max.
it hits home so hard.
Why does it hit home so hard that this one is the one that gets to you?
Because it was in my hands. I'm all powerful. I have every single skill I need to survive, but I can't even save other people. I
If
could
only
save one other person, it would matter, and the only person I can save is me.
the other 4 people that you save walk out through the back.
Yeah,
Immediately
just like
bland.
I'm in the middle of like the melodrama, they just slowly sink away.
So, speaking
Thanks,
of
Doc.
insanity points, I still have to do my mental trauma.
Oh,
So, but
Ooh, yeah. Let's
that
let's
is
get
true.
to that as you settle
Actually,
in to do your security over the night.
real quick, Jort, I can also do a bit of Medicaid on you in the meanwhile as well. Because I'm doing everyone quickly today, so I get to you. Holy shit.
How do you
Maybe
do?
Big B as
nice.
well.
You
Okay,
got a
yeah, I'll roll a big
4.1.
B too, because we got a big B in the tent. There we go.
Baby, you like slipped out a
Um,
banana peel running to this train.
a banana peel full of shrapnel.
So what does that
Oh yeah,
actually
that's right. You got
do?
shot in the chest.
This is where I need to actually look at what the Medicaid skill does and how exactly it works to know how well we just happen to have healed up Jortson.
Yep. So there's the traditional healing, but that just goes over like how you would heal without a medic,
Mhm.
effectively. So basically, if you're critically damaged, Jort, every day you have to roll a toughness test, and if you pass, you reduce your critical damage by 1. So at 6, every day, within 6 days, assuming you pass all these toughness tests, you'll be back to 0 wounds.
Well, let me see for this first day that we were girding the trench.
Yeah. And
Oh
I
no!
guess
Wow.
what about normal wounds? Yeah, this is the second day right now.
And technically, you're supposed to dedicate yourself towards rest, but I'm going to say that you sitting in this trench is sufficient.
Oh yeah, I'm just eating beans with Pappy.
I guess I'm technically working, so I won't rest.
But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so I believe I roll a willpower plus my bonus for being insane, and I'm at 20 insanity points, so it'd be a plus 20 modifier.
Damn. They don't reset at all, huh?
No, they
You
just keep
got
adding.
IM or something.
What's that, man?
Do you have to like spend XP on reducing insanity points?
Yeah, technically you can reduce it by spending 100 XP, or you can just say, "Nah, I'm good, G," and take all of it forever.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be good. All right, let's see what I get. Oh, I succeed, so I don't think I go crazy.
Nice. But you found the section for the healing, correct? It's literally just under
Uh,
Medicaid, but then you need to go to the items, and from the items,
oh,
I
here
think
we
it'll
go.
give you. There you go.
Yeah, extended care. To do treating care, 24-hour period, primary healer. Succeeds as patient removes twice the normal amount of damage recovered from their natural rates of healing. So both of you will recover 2 points of crit every day I tend to you.
Ooh.
But what about just regular wounds? That's all. I haven't taken anything crit yet.
Then you get to actually heal straight wounds, which is nice.
Oh, on top of this, each patient removes 1 point of damage per degree of success the healer scores in his test, and 1 additional point of damage per consecutive day of extended care they have received beyond the first. So
Nice.
the longer I'm treating you, the better it is. But George, congratulations, you have 4 wounds, even though you're still in crit. or 5 wounds actually, and you got 2, Bigby. So that's really nice. I could
Alright.
technically heal Alexander too and see how well you're doing, but you don't rest, but you would at least get wounds back.
Oh yeah.
I think
I
more
I will have
requires
to
a
hunt
careful-
down Alexander. Oh gosh, and hunt him I do. Congratulations. Just take 5 wounds.
Put a car battery to his nipples.
Hold on a second.
I believe we just call those the positive and negative imports now.
Oh yeah. What insanity did you say you were at, Joy?
I'm at 20.
You're at 20. Got it. So you are
Jeez.
unsettled. Trauma modifier plus 10, but you don't actually get your first disorder until you hit 40. So that's good.
Oh, okay.
But then you make the trauma test, which is a willpower test modified. So it would be the willpower plus 10.
I didn't do the first one. Do you want me to roll another one?
Yes, because you had 2. Don't forget to
Okay.
add your 10.
Yeah, this one will just be 10 because the first one I did plus 20. So.
Gotcha.
Oh no! And then I roll what? 1d100 plus 30. Is that fail?
1d100 plus 10 for every degree of failure.
Yeah, I got negative 3.7. So
So yeah, one. So roll me a d100 plus 30.
all right, this
What?
isn't gonna be
Tell
good.
me what you get.
Oh, oops! I forgot the slash.
You can do it, Jort.
Oh fuck! I got an 88. That's not good.
It is not good. You are constantly fearful, seeing danger everywhere, and you are extremely jumpy with your belt-fed, exploding bullet ammunition, fully automatic weapon. You gain a plus 10 to all perception-based tests, but a minus 10 to willpower for the next 1d5 days.
I got a 4.
So, that's good. So for the next 4 days, you are better likely to see things, but also more susceptible for being affected by horrible shit. Or as Alexander calls it, sane. A perfectly reasonable response.
Yeah, it's database time, I think. I've done all my
Yep.
Medicaid stuff, so I'm busy the whole day.
Yep, it's the new day. Give me the roll. You have the 30-point penalty to the roll.
You can break the encryption, Alexander. We believe in you. You restore fate points when you rest?
No. You
No,
restore.
okay.
So,
Post mission?
yeah, basically.
Okay, got it. So none of us should have any right now, I think.
I think Alexander does. He's never, ever used it.
I used it for him.
Oh, that's right.
But same
Yeah,
result as before for Alexander.
you're having difficulty cracking this encryption, but you can stay at it. Is everybody doing the same thing for their second day out here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you know what? I think I'll watch the Aegis today.
Okay. You head on out to the Aegis, and sure enough, you can see the old man goes, nah, that's a big piece of metal. What do you think it takes to get inside one of them?
You probably just gotta open the door.
Yeah, like a can of beans.
Oh
I
hell yeah,
heard.
you got more beans.
That's, see, some of these green skins out here, they have these cat paws, these 3 claws. I seen them rip man apart, like completely, entirely. But on top of that, I'm pretty sure it could cut into this like a tin can. Like them orcs trying to eat people the way we eat beans. And of course,
Ah,
greenskins probably just like it more because this can of beans can fight back. You get it. You know what I'm saying.
yeah, I get it. I vaguely remember some kind of orc trying to pry his way in there the other day.
Well, let's try and make sure these beans stay safe, huh?
All right.
And while you're out there, just occasionally you can hear the gun just. You can hear the crackle of the las cannon as off in the distance you'll see an orc buggy driving by only to explode as this one tank effectively holds down this entire section of the war front.
Every
But
time it shoots, I'm like, oh shit, oh, and then go back to eating my bean.
just for that bit of role playing, give yourself a light fate. For one roll this session, you can re-roll it
Oh, nice.
because you made me laugh. So, Scipio, you're still inside the tent trying to heal folks?
Yeah, I rolled 2 more checks for Jones and Harley on the extended for day 2 here, so
Didn't go well, did it?
yeah, didn't go well. No progress. Just all right. Bandages are new. Get back at them.
See the Hartley goes. Yeah, I suppose that is what is to be expected. I appreciate your efforts, but I'm going to be needed on the line. And
Well,
with that,
stop back here if you can.
yeah. Besides, who knows? Maybe the next time you pop back, you come back as a demon that needs to be eviscerated, huh? But seriously, don't do that. It would be very, very traumatic for me.
I think I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah.
I'll visit you.
And he walks off to the lines.
Yeah, going for the next
Digby,
one.
what are you doing?
Well, I assume there's a lot more trench to check than he was able to check the first day. So either
Yeah, everything else that you checked out. So you did make your 3 rolls. You checked everything out. So that is done. If you want,
so
keep. If you want, you can keep checking in case you missed something. But you just have to tell me what specifically you want to search.
well then, what else is there to do again? I'm sorry that I spaced that all
No
out.
worries. The tech priest is currently trying to break the encryption on these databases, and so that basically leaves helping the people in the medical tent, which the psyker has basically accomplished, guarding the mortar pit, and guarding the Aegis.
Let's guard the mortar pit. That seems further from danger than the rest of these guarding
All right.
jobs.
You set up in the mortar pit. And while that happens, everybody has a lot of fun. And let's see here. So the night goes by relatively non-committally. There's a few orc pushes along the trenches, but they are pushed back relatively easily thanks to the 5 heavy bolters on the Gildan. And even behind you, you can see occasionally they'll attempt to leave their crater, but the heavy weapons on the rear section of your group have been dealing with it pretty effectively. So despite the fact that you guys cannot push forward, there hasn't been much of a concerted effort to take you out just yet.
As long as we don't run out of ammunition on that thing.
Well, that is one of the issues you are likely going to run into, as it's not just the Gildan itself which is going to start running low on ammunition, but also the soldiers themselves. After having to open fire so many times, most of them are on the last 2 mags. And with limited supplies, it's going to take a little bit of creativity to solve. Oh, and Harley gets 2 crit back and 2 wounds back. Noted.
Because the test is easy for just extended care.
Thankfully.
Ordinary, it is anyway.
All right. As you guys settle in, Scipio, are you going to bed? Where would you like to sleep as night starts to fall in?
Well, I guess I've kind of made this place mine at this point. I already have a spot all set up.
Oh yeah.
So I'll just wiggle into like one of these little beds right here, where there's no longer a bleeding patient that died from a collapsed lung. Pull over like the one blanket I have that also counts as my shirt right now. Get some sleep.
Awesome. As you lay down into the medical beds, along with everybody else, you and Sergeant Jones, end up knocking out while everybody else maintains their guarding positions. And as they start to fall asleep well into the night, everyone roll me an awareness test.
Okay.
And this would be based on sound. So if you have heightened senses hearing, give yourself a +10.
Oh, I'm sleeping through it.
Nice, nice. And we'll
The
see.
last to survive.
Oh shit. Alrighty then. So let me just click 2 more things to see if everyone dies or you are a bunch of big damn heroes.
Well, if they'd had to be right back. He's just 10 to 15 minutes tops.
Awesome.
Even the people who failed critically still notice, except for
So Big B, you hear what sounds like a crash coming from the medical tent.
Shit. Alright, grab
And
his guns and
And
get his pants
while
on.
that's going, well, you get your pants back on, you get your gun, and Scipio, you don't hear anything. What with you being asleep and all, but eventually you hear, "Oh, you git! I told you not to drop 'em like that. Told to be sneaky time tonight. I didn't drop nothing. It's just stupid crate. Somebody put it here. It's supposed to be one crate, and they put a crate on our body. It's not right." And you can hear this bickering, and as you open your eyes, you look over, and you can see Sergeant Jones also laying down in one of the tents, and he has his chainsword ready, and he's just looking at you. His eyes are open, he just sort of barely shakes his head no, as you glance over, and you see a pair, not just a pair, but you see a number of orc commandos begin to crawl out from a tunnel that was built into the center of this area. Apparently, a number of the boxes got on it, and you see as one is pulling their knife and starting to walk towards you, you hear one of the other one goes, "No, we're not here for taking no ease. We're here for the death box. Come on, we can get them on our way out." And as they begin to move, everybody roll me some initiatives.
Yeah, this is gonna matter. It's gonna be real tense.
And you would have counted as being surprised, but fortunately, your sergeant has managed to help you out.
Thank you, Sergeant. So, 8. I gotta really hope I'm faster than them because I can turn this around, but I need to live. Such is the fate of the Psyker today. Oh, there's 3 of them.
Not quite.
Oh, there's 4 of them.
For the record, this one right here is still climbing his way out of the hole.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hear him just going, perfect insertion. Nobody even knows we're here yet." Dummies. Alright, Bigby has a 9. Scipio,
8.
which is a name I will never tire of saying. Who else we got? We
Jort at a
got
10.
Bigby, Jort. I don't think Alexander's around, so not Alexander. We'll just say Sergeant Jones.
Come on, Jones.
All right. Nice. All right. So the commandos both have 6. Sergeant Jones has 11.
Oh, good.
One thing he does not have is a lot of health. Actually, no, you healed him up pretty good right off the bat, right?
Yeah, he got the 2 extra crit and 2 extra wound right there from the last check, and he also got healed early on the first one too. So however much that one did.
Okay, so he's doing okie dokie.
He might actually be fine.
He's
Ish.
not. Well, he's fine-ish. We'll see. We'll
Mhm.
see.
I also have no armor wounds. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
I actually wrote a 10 instead of an 8.
You can make
Not
me
that it
click
matters that
buttons.
much, but
How dare you?
So
But yeah,
here we go. Sergeant Jones has the initiative. He's awake. We're making eye contact, and I think we're both kind of thinking, like, when are we gonna do this?
Sergeant Jones motions for you to stay where you are. As he jumps up, you realize that he doesn't have a ranged weapon.
Mhm.
So instead, you see him get up. He throws a pillow at one of the commandos and uses his movement to go outside and take the defensive action as he basically calls him out. He turns on his chainsword, and he goes, "Right, you dumb-looking motherfuckers. You want to fight? There's one right here." And effectively tries to challenge them to a duel while telling you to lay low.
Mhm. Which I might very well do.
And he's going to attempt to inspire everyone. All right, get them is in effect as he preps to hold out. He goes, he goes, "You're just going to be left in there with a bunch of bodies. Unless you can get me first." And hopefully, Bigby is not too far away.
Hopefully.
Yeah, what do
Jort,
we got?
you are up as you can hear the Sergeant Jones calling out from the medical area. What would you like to do?
I guess I just run over there.
It is 27 meters away before you can get into range of anything.
Okay, I will run my 12 meters.
All right.
I wish that this sheet had a way for me to tell my movement that I'm a ratling, because I don't know what my move actually is. I know my half move is -1, but the rest of it I'm not sure.
Well, your half move can't be -1.
Right.
Because that would mean you'd be going backwards.
Well, it's -1 from what it says, is what I meant.
Ah, gotcha. Yes. As you go to your sheet, it will actually say all the way at the bottom, your half move is 3 meters, your full move is 6, and your run is 18.
Yes.
But
I
because you're
see that,
short, I
but
think it's -1. So what you do is you can go to the measurement device, and actually you would be here because you were guarding this place.
Where am I?
You are right here.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
So, effectively, you can move 18 meters. So if you want, you could run all the way up here. You could clamber up top, clamber over here, wherever you'd like to go.
Hmm. Crawling over to
Everyone-
here so he can use his rifle from a brace position.
All right, that is your full move, but you are in position.
And I guess, would
Scipio.
that be an Overwatch?
Technically, you've used your full action just to get to that position.
Okay.
So you can't
Okay.
take the Overwatch action.
But at least you're there.
Oh yeah.
So let's see. So just to clarify, using psychic powers is in fact conspicuous.
Oh yeah. I mean,
All
it
right.
depends on how you go about doing it and what the power it is, what the power you cast is.
Right. I got things like dominate, hallucination, foreboding, assail, and objuration mechanicum, which is also hilarious.
I would, because they're not expecting you to be able to do anything. They just think you're another corpse in the room or
Mhm.
another sickly body. Effectively, I would allow you to roll a thing. What would
A
that
deceive.
be? Well, so you're not actually being deceptive, so I would just say roll stealth and give yourself a plus 20 because they don't know you're there. At least they don't realize you're a threat of any kind.
So stealth, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That's based off
Like 20
agility.
points.
That's like a 50-50. I will go ahead and this turn opt to do nothing, specifically to continue pretending I'm being a corpse.
All right, there you go.
So as long as they don't pay attention to me, perfectly fine, and we'll work on next round.
Let's see how they do. Yeah. So, that's a good roll. 10. One of them immediately charges the sergeant as his friend goes, "Oh, shut that, get up!" The other two beat feet out of the room as they hop up, trying as best they can to get out of the trenches to go attack the truck or the tank. And the last one, as it's running, glances over and sees you just sort of sitting there pretending to be a corpse. He goes, "Ugh, filthy human." And seeing that you're there, goes up and attempts to grapple you.
Grapple, half full.
There you go. And then the other section, so 251 is grappling, and then 245, because that's how that goes, tells you what you can do in a grapple, because that's how they do things with this book.
Yeah. I'll definitely need to know if I can use my psychic powers.
You should be able to.
Okay. It is the
Just an attack.
make an unarmed attack. Engaged in melee, challenging +0 weapon skill test. If the opponent is armed, it becomes -20. I'm not armed.
Standard. Wait, what'd you say?
+0 weapon skill test.
Okie doke. Let's give it a shot. No!
He
As
misses.
he runs up to grab you, and as he's doing it, he's just like, "Ugh!" He reaches out for you, you slap the hand out of the way, which just annoys him more as you scoot back towards the edge of the bed.
Ah, ah. This is psionic boot camp all over again.
He's coming to give me a swirly.
Alrighty then. Oh, I forgot to do the attack on the sergeant, as he is charged. Oof. The sergeant
Ooh.
might not survive. We will see.
Well, we can still hope for a low damage roll.
Oh, Jesus.
Status report. What the hell is happening?
Ma'am, OP
An
just
incredible
posted critical
parrier.
level defense. Please-
That shouldn't be that high. He should have a 47. I'm gonna have to look at that. But
He
regardless,
still rolled a 9.
regardless, the orc comes in to charge, and even with his arm in a sling, he takes the chainsword and zing, knocks it to the side. That's unexpected.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, do we want to roll
Another
Alexander's initiative now? Now that he's back.
If he would like to, he may. Now that there's, have him roll an awareness just to see if he even hears this going on. But for the most part, now there is some commotion. he's plugged into the mainframe currently. Look, there's a lot of issues with this code.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to sort through. But Sergeant Jones does manage to inspire you all as he just keeps shouting alarm over and over again.
Yeah, just hoping to wake everyone up.
Eat me, you fat little bastard. Because he has a British accent now. So, as he does that, let's see if he can actually hold his own. He doesn't have his pistol, so he's just going to chainsword it. Standard attack. No. So he parries pretty good, he just can't seem to hit anything. As he's gradually pushed backwards up into the wall, he sees you getting attacked by the other orc, and he goes, "I thought I told you to stay down." Jort, you're up as you watch two commandos clambering over the trench lines. It looks like, from what you can tell, on their backs they have some pretty hefty demolition charges.
All right, I guess I'm gonna try to take him out.
Yeah, your old buddy already has like the extra like bandolier of ammo ready to go. He goes, remember what I said? You kill every dumb son of a bitch that gets in front of our gun.
Oh, I was thinking about beans. I'm sorry.